I'm here.
They do things. Okay. This is Wildlings for Indie Plus's June 2014 game night. And I'm Aaron Field. I'm here with
Roman
Roman
Pera.
Hera. Cool. What do you do, Roman?
I
Introduce
make
yourself a little bit.
well, I just make computers do what I want them to do,
Awesome.
um, both for a living and for fun. And I'm from
Right on.
Encinitas, California, so I'm on the West Coast.
Right on. Cool. So I run a lot of RPGs for Indie Plus and for other things and locally and stuff. I'm in Arizona, so um, cool. So this is Indie Plus event, and this will adhere to the Indie Plus community standards, and you can learn more about those by Googling Indie Plus community standards. Um, this event may include discussions about or descriptions of violence, especially to young kids, because that's who the characters are in this story. But we're not going to go like too graphic or anything. Uh, I kind of imagine it more uh, like Harry Potter style, uh, kids in danger. Um, but if that bothers you, go check out some of our other games, perhaps. Cool. So we're playing Wildlings by John Harper. This is kind of a work in progress game. It's not been officially released, but there's been in various playtest releases for the last couple of years, and we're playing the version that's been kind of revised by somebody called Gremlin Legions, and they've added a bunch of stuff, and it's available right now for free. You can get John Harper's version at his site, and I'll post a link to the Gremlins version as well. Um, so basically, uh, the people are tied closely with the power of the five spirits, or so say the wise women. The spirits of the wolf, snake, stag, owl, and boar manifest differently in each person. One may feel closer kinship to the owl, being wise and observant. Another may hold affinity with the wolf, being fearless and loyal. The strength of each spirit combines to make each person an individual, their mood and manners unique, their way of doing things special. This is the way of things. You are a young warrior, a wildling, not yet tested in the rites of passage. But you are no longer a babe. Your heritage shows in every confident footstep, the pride in your voice when you speak, and the steadiness of your watchful eyes. And the people can strive to be a warrior, boy or girl, weak or strong. Wise women say that during the fall of the nation, even maidens fought mighty beasts and cowards, uh, though with prompting, protected their clansmen. You merely need to prove yourself, collecting marks favored by the spirits that will show the elders that you too can stand tall by their sides. So, are you ready to prepare yourself?
I
Uh,
am.
your wildling's connection to the five spirits and the talents with which they are associated are represented by five dice: a d4, d6, d8, a d10, and a d12. So distribute dice among the spirits. The larger the die, the stronger that spirit manifests in your wildling. But while your D12 spirit is dominant, a strong influence upon your attitude and personality, your D10 spirit is special. It is your warrior die. Best exemplifies your fighting style. You may be fierce like a snarling wolf, accurate like a swooping owl, silent like a slithering snake, forceful like a charging boar, or swift like a majestic stag. Perhaps you have some other way of embodying your warrior spirit. So whenever you strike at or defend yourself against the foe, you will use your warrior die. Um, and besides that, each of the different spirits have their sort of their associated actions. that you'll use them for. So you can go ahead and pick a name and assign your dice.
Okay.
And let's see. We have, since there's no other players, I'll make up a couple wildlings as well to accompany you.
All right.
We will have, let's go with Snorri and Adis. Or Idis. So these two are like yourself. They're one of these untested warriors. So what name do you choose for your wildling, Roman?
My wildling will be called Finner.
Finner. Okay, cool. And you assigned your dice?
Yes.
And, okay, so say the name of one of the other wildlings, either Snorri or Adis, and then choose one of those bonds.
All right. So Adis. Is secretly in love with me, and I know it.
Ooh.
And Snorri knows my darkest secret and holds it over me.
Okay. Cool. Maybe we can reveal that in play. I guess. That's fine. Okay. And then choose your wildling's weapons. So there's a big old list, but these don't have like a particular mechanic like associated with them.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't give you particular dice or anything like that. It's kind of purely fictional positioning, right? So if you have a big spear, that means it's easier to keep things at a distance,
Right.
just as you'd expect. But there's no like reach type mechanic as such. So feel free to pick whatever seems interesting.
Sure. Finner carries an oaken staff inlaid with silver and carved with the runes of my clan.
Nice, nice. Let's see. I think Snorri will have the big battle axe, massive two-handed battle axe, and Adis probably. Let's go with Oh, a keen sword passed down from her grandfather.
Excellent.
Cool. And then choose your wildling's armor.
Snorri, Finner, I wear a leather mantle topped with a wolf's head and lined with its fur.
Topped with a wolf's head. Wow. Cool. I think Snorri shall have a mail shirt and hood. So he's got he likes metal apparently, and Adis, along with his sword, will have a heavy cloak lined with small metal discs.
Ah.
Okay. Cool. And then, in addition, each wildling carries a simple knife, a pack and bedroll, rations of dried meat for the trail, a skin of water, a torch and tinder, and a length of rope. And these you can just incorporate into your description of things you're doing as you will. Cool. So, the basic mechanic is like I'll kind of set the scene, and you can describe what you're doing, and you can, most tasks are easily accomplished. We don't have to roll for that.
Mhm.
If you do something that's difficult or challenged by some opponent or obstacle, then I'll tell you to roll one of the die, one of your dice associated with one of your spirits. So, for example, when you track or hunt, then I would say, okay, roll your wolf die for that one. Or
Mhm.
if you watch and listen, that's your owl die. And then before you roll, you pick one of these, what are called feats, one of these adverbs of how you're going to do it, how you're going to go about it.
Right.
And there's a whole list of them. So there's like bravely, carefully, precisely, quickly, or sincerely. So you pick one of those, roll your die. If you get 4 or higher, then you're successful, and you do it exactly as you say, or you might actually get to pick more feats on top of the original one. So you could do it quickly, and then also secretly, for example, or you could even pick the same one twice. So if you do it, forcefully and then forcefully again, it's even more impact.
Nice.
If you roll a 3 or less on the die, however, then something goes wrong. It's probably not a success, and based on how you were trying to do it, then I'll tell you, the consequences, and maybe put you in a new situation. And then that same task can't be attempted in the same way. So you have to come up with some other feat to use, or perhaps even a different spirit to use to accomplish it. Okay, it's also possible to take harm. We'll get into that if when it comes up. Don't worry about that for now.
Okay.
Okay. The only exception to stuff is when you do something. If someone intends you harm, or you intend somebody else harm, then it's combat, and then you roll your warrior die, whatever your D10 is, instead of the normal thing.
Okay.
Okay. That's enough to get going. So, what are your dice, by the way, just so I have some idea?
Sure.
Introduce Finir to us.
So Finir, as you could probably tell from the leather mantle topped with a wolf's head, has a D12 for wolf. The warrior dice, the D10 is in stag. Finir's weapon of the oaken staff is a very swift weapon. Lots of swirling of the staff, quick jabs and tripping and so forth. Finir is not a very straight ahead super strength or kind of a charging a type of aggression. So boar is the D4. Finir is not particularly sneaky or doesn't shy away from a battle. So D6 is in the snake, and the owl is D8. There is a bit of a swooping sort of way about Finner's style.
All right, cool. Let's see. I think I'll introduce the others real quick. Snorri, I think, is a. Uh, oh, why not? His personality is the spirit that manifests most strongly in him is the snake. Uh, so he tends to kind of sneak around or hide and watch before striking. And Itis with her sword is definitely kind of a boorish personality. So she's very stubborn.
Right.
She likes to likes to think she's correct and she holds on strongly when she makes a decision about something. So cool. Right. The starting situation then, or at least the starting quest, is called Into the Ruins. So the men and women warriors of your clan are far away across the dark sea raiding. The nights are long and cold, and the elders huddle in their longhouses, warding off the chill with their hearth fires. The Wildlings are entrusted with guarding the village, keeping it safe from wolves and the untrustworthy bear tribe. Last night, during a fierce snowstorm, a foul thing crept from the ruins beyond the old forest and stole into the village while everyone was bundled within their homes. It carried away 2 sheep, a barrel of lard, and a small babe, Rilka, daughter of Chieftain Yuri Red Hand. The wise women have met in council and decreed that something must be done. The people are not to be preyed upon. Though Rilka might be eaten by now, a rescue must nevertheless be undertaken. After communing with the spirits, the wise women have chosen you and your fellow wildlings for this task. Take up your arms and steel your courage. The time has come to do your duty and prove your worth as a warrior to the elders. Okay. So, can, if you wish, consult the map, which is the last couple pages, I think.
Okay.
Let me see if I can put the map up real quick. Maybe not. Doop. Okay, let me screen share real quick. Okay. So you are in coming from the lands of the people, and you have tracked this thing through the old forest. Let's see. Initially, it seems to be heading towards the Valley of the Giants. And so heading along the path through the old forest, you and Snorri and Itis come to a familiar gorge where the path usually crosses over. There's an old bridge usually there, but the snowstorm from last night has left quite a lot of heavy snow on this bridge. This old, it's kind of a wooden plank bridge, and you can hear the creaking as you come up on this, cloudy morning, and the snow is kind of starting to melt, and the bridge is still icy and slippery, and it's creaking under the weight of all this ice and snow. Um, so it's quite a risky crossing, it looks like.
Hmm.
Um, and Itis uh, pulls up. She stops you guys and says, "Hold on, this is there's no way we can make it across, right? There's I mean, this bridge is about to fall down. It'd be suicide to try to go across that." But Snorri thinks he's light enough, even in his heavy armor. He's got a light enough step that he can run across. So what do you do?
Finner thinks for a little while and then suggests that they could potentially send Snorri across with the length of all the rope that we have tied together
Hmm.
and secure it on the other side, and then we could secure the rope to ourselves and come across. If the bridge collapses, then we'll, at worst, um, be hanging from a rope and can climb up. It'll prevent us from falling.
Hmm. Hmm. Uh. Hmm.
But we're not sure if we have enough rope.
Cool. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Uh. Itis has her doubts about this plan, but she'll go along with it, and you tie all your rope together, and it looks like it's probably long enough for to get all the way across. So Snorri heads across, and um, he's kind of pretty quick moving over this thing, and uh, as he puts one foot out quickly, just to test a little bit, and it creaks, but it seems to hold, and then he just dashes the rest of the way. But unfortunately, he's got this big battle axe um, that's strapped to his back, and he's got the mail shirt and hood, and the towards the other side of the gorge, the wooden planks break, and he goes falling. He falls under the bridge. Um, Now the rest of the bridge holds, but he's just fallen through a hole in the bridge. Um, and you and Itis have to hold on to this rope to stop his fall. And it's really cold out here. Your hands are
Mm-hmm.
starting to get cold. So I think what do you do, man? How are you gonna keep him from falling?
Um, well, I've got hold of one end of the rope,
Hmm.
and um,
Hey.
I'm not sure if Adis has hold of it, any of it either. Um, but I'm going to attempt to dig in as much as I can and pull back uh, to keep from getting pulled over um, or letting go and sending
Mhm.
Snorri to the bottom of the gorge.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna have. Let's see. Let's try. Uh, I think this is very difficult. So you're acting with swiftness or grace. So why don't you roll your stag die, and then but before rolling,
Mm-hmm.
pick one of your feats there. So they are bravely, carefully, cleverly, forcefully, helpfully, impressively, precisely, quickly, quietly, robustly, secretly, or sincerely.
I'm going to try to do this impressively.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right, roll it up.
All right. An 8.
Okay, 8. So you succeed, and actually you get to choose 2 feats. So you can do it impressively and choose another one if you want.
Impressively and we'll say helpfully.
Hopefully, cool. All right. So I think, let's see, cool. Doop, doop. See what happens. Okay, cool. So you grab it and you manage to stop Story from falling in, and even yank him up so he's back on top of the bridge. Uh, and Idis, since you're doing it helpfully, I think Idis, also comes in and helps you yank. Um, but uh, and Snorri is pretty weighed down with all this stuff, but you managed to yank him up, even so. So cool. As this happens, though, let's cut and get Adam into this game real quick. Uh, so
All right, tell me
uh,
about your character, Roman, and I'll create a complimentary one.
Sure. Fenrir is a wolf spirit with a stag warrior style. Is weakest as a boar. We have a couple of other characters here. One is a boar and one is a snake.
yeah, you don't.
Your weakest is owl, you said?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
No,
I'll make it.
no. My weakest is boar. Sorry, I apologize.
All right.
Okay, cool. So Adam, you're a young warrior, not yet tested.
Yep.
Uh,
Owl boar, I guess, with a
so
weakness in wolf.
okay, cool. And go ahead and choose a name,
Hmm.
and then
Eav.
Yev. How to say? Let's see. Ev. Okay, cool.
Boy name.
Oh, I
Second
see.
and the third.
IAV.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then say the name of one of the other wildlings
All right.
for one of these bonds.
Rifa?
No. Either like choose Finner or Snorri or Idis. Snorri is kind of a sneaky guy. Idis is a very stubborn young woman, and then Finner is he's wearing the wolf head cloak.
All right. And give a HX to one of them.
Yeah, exactly. From one of those on the list there on like page 4.
Let's go with Finner. Promise to keep me safe.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And your character's name again?
Eav.
Yev.
Okay. And Finner, do you have the option to make a bond with Ev? If you
Right. Yev.
I can go female if you feel any of these are more interesting.
Yev is my most trusted friend.
All right.
Oh, nice. Okay. And just to fill you in, Snorri knows Finner's secret and holds it over him. And Idis is secretly in love with Finner, and he is aware of that. Cool. So
Right. So let me get
choose your weapons. So far we have the oaken staff inlaid with silver and
How
cardinal
about
runes.
Idis has been my betrothed since our birth.
Oh
Ooh,
wow, crazy. All right.
With that, I'll close the window.
this is gonna get interesting.
Oh yeah.
All right, sweet. Okay, so
You promised to
yeah,
keep me safe while I steal your girl.
yeah. So choose your weapon, EF,
All
or your
right.
weapons.
I'm feeling a whaling harpoon made of bone as thick as my own arm.
Cool, a harpoon. And then your armor.
All right. A coat of hardened leather studded with metal.
Okay, cool. Hardened leather, sweet. So you also have a knife, pack, bedroll, dried meat,
Dried meat. Okay.
skin water, torch and tinder, and a length of rope. And you can feel free to describe those using those as you will. So basically, I'll set up the scene, and then I'll ask you what you do, and based on what you're doing, I might, if it's difficult or challenged or there's some obstacle to it, I'll ask you to roll a die, uh, one of your spirit dice there. Um, Before you roll, you pick one of the feats describing how you're going to do that, and then if you roll a 4 or higher, you get to do it that way, and you succeed, and you might even get additional feats to choose. Otherwise, a 1, 2, 3, I'll
Okay.
describe the consequences of your action.
Cool. I got it.
Okay, and the rest of it we can get into as we go. So,
These are stats over in the chat bar.
okay, cool, right on.
Yeah.
So, uh, so you,
That might be a bit hard to say over and over.
yeah, it's okay. So I
Go
think
for Hakon.
I
Hakon.
think
Hakon.
Hakon. Okay,
Yeah.
Hakon
No,
instead.
Galti. 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 Can't go
Galti.
wrong with Galti.
Okay, so Galti, final answer is
Galti.
uh oh, sorry, let me fill you in on the quest real quick. So all the actual warriors are far away raiding, and you, the Wildlings, have been charged with protecting the village in the meantime. But last night, during a nasty snowstorm, something came out of the old forest and stole into the village and carried away a small babe, Rilka, daughter of Chieftain Yuri Redhand. And the wise women said something has to be done. The Wildlings, even though Rilka might might not be alive, you have to go save her. Try to save her anyway. So that's where you're at. And I think Finner, you promised to keep Galti safe. I think probably you asked him to stay behind. You told him, or maybe you didn't tell him
Yes.
that when you were leaving.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I don't know if that works for.
So Galti, you come running up. It's kind of cloudy morning, snow covered ground, and you're following the tracks of your fellow wildlings through the old forest here, and you come up to this gorge where this wooden bridge crosses the gorge to find Finner and Idis holding onto a rope desperately as Snorri has fallen through the bridge. And
Are they on the near side or the far side that they're hanging from?
everybody's still on the near side except for Snorri, who's kind of right in the middle of the bridge. And you can see that the bridge is covered in snow and ice, and it's really creaking loudly as all this movement happens on it. Snorri is getting yanked back up and everything. And at this time, as you're running out onto this scene, as well, Uh,
Our character's like 13 or 16. Where are we in the?
yeah, you're something like that, fairly young. Um, as you come running out, you have in your haste uh, attracted some ice wolves who are now have been tracking you and following you through this path, and you failed to notice them until just now, when Idis turns around and she hears you crunching through the snow and coming up. She turns around and she sees behind you. She yells out, "The wolves! Watch out!" And
Okay.
these
I'm an owl, so I know this. It's not like I'm gonna run through and not expect some ice wolves. So can I roll in the client, or do I have to use the
yeah, you can use dice stream
dice stream? Let's do it.
you can roll your own dice if you want. I don't whatever
Okay.
whatever you like. So
Opening dice stream, downloading app.
so what do you do as this wolf
Right.
makes his leap towards you?
All right. Well, I've seen these guys coming. I'm an owl, so I'm just gonna duck and let them use their momentum. I was waiting until we got near a gorge or something so I could bait them in. So
Oh, nice.
I got a 10.
Okay, well, hang on.
How am I gonna do it?
Yeah, how you
Do I choose before or once I
you
roll?
choose before the roll, actually.
All right. Cool. Sorry.
And after the roll, you might get some bonus choices.
All right. I'm going to cleverly and precisely dodge out of the way.
Precisely.
I step in the exact right spot that I can drop onto my stomach without
Okay.
launching into where I thought the old bridge would still be standing.
Oh, okay, cool. So you're misleading them.
Yep.
And the timing is just right.
Cool, right on. Okay, that sounds like sounds like a stag to me. Act with swiftness or grace.
Oh, fuck. I think the argument could be made that
Or actually,
you implement a clever plan.
Come to think of it, this is combat, so you'll use your combat die, whatever that
Okay,
is.
so instead of a D10, let's
They
roll.
definitely want to harm you.
All right. I get a mere 3 using my boar.
A mere 3. Okay, that's a miss.
Mhm.
So you instead of doing it cleverly or precisely, this wolf lands right on top of you, and you are pushed down into the snow, and you can't really see very well anymore because you've got all the snow in your face, and this wolf is chomping into your leather armor, and I think it hasn't quite harmed you yet, but Finner, you see this attack, and furthermore, you see a couple more wolves which are coming around to the side, and you've still got Snorri seems to be he's in the middle of the bridge. He's still kind of he can't go. He can't get across. He's afraid to move, right? He's like holding on as tight as he can.
But we're no longer supporting his weight. Is that the case?
Right. You
Okay.
pulled him up already, very impressively. But Idis is, she looks to you like, what should we do? She's still holding onto the rope. She doesn't want to lose Snorri in case the bridge collapses.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do?
I tell her to stand guard at the to protect the entrance of the bridge so that they can't go down the bridge and attack the vulnerable Snorri, who probably wouldn't be in much of a position to fight very effectively. Um,
Okay.
and I decide to wade into the battle here and try to save that which I am duty bound to protect.
Okay. So you're gonna go to the one that's on Galti right now.
That's right, with an eye on the other two, prepared to swing my staff to keep them distant while I head to knock off
Okay.
the one on.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that sounds like an attack. So you're gonna use your combat die, which is your stag die. But how are you gonna do this? Now, I think I'm gonna say there's a particular threat, which is Galti is in real trouble right now, and you need to get there quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't do quickly, then I mean you can do whatever you want, but if you don't do quickly, then I think Galti will take some harm here.
I'm gonna go for quickly,
Okay.
and then hopefully get some bonus here.
Cool. So go
Got a
ahead and roll
5.
5. Okay. So you just get the 1. You get there quickly. But that's fine. How this works is if you successfully attack, they take a hit, and most encounters are defeated after 3 hits, although some might take more. Cool. So that's definitely a success against the wolves. How do you describe how you're fighting this thing off?
Okay, so essentially, as I come up to it, it's kind of, I guess, standing on his shoulders, or he's sort of pinned to the ground, and it's snarling in his face. So I have kind of a side. I'm kind of to the side. It's sort of in profile to me. So I have my staff, which is as tall as I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm able. Part of how I'm able to get there quickly is that it gets there before I do, and I sort of jab it right in the ribs and knock it to the other side, away from me, off of Ev.
Cool. Galti, you mean?
Golf. Oh, he changed his name. Okay.
Yeah,
Galti.
you have Galti Hulkin. That
Last
guy.
name.
Okay. So cool. And Galti, you're able to scramble to your feet, and now you've that wolf, I think, kind of backs off, right? Back toward the sort of into the trees, and starts circling around again. And at that moment, Idas yells out, and Snorri is trying to cautiously pull his way, back across the bridge to Idas to help fight off these wolves, but the wolves are closing in on her, and she's got out her keen sword, and she's they've kind of she's looking back and forth between them, and trying to guess which one is going to go first. So Galti.
I'm going to roar with anger and stand myself up and hurl my harpoon at the closest one to my beloved.
Wow.
And, yeah, boar style, showing some aggression here. Let's see how it does.
Sweet.
So I'm going to try that.
Okay.
Bravely?
And
helpfully? I don't know. I think those are both accurate.
okay. That's oh, so you're just using your combat
Yeah.
die. Cool. 4. All right. And what about you, Finner?
How far away are we from
I got a 6.
the action?
You've got I mean, a few strides away. Not actually that far.
Okay. And the other wolf is circling around, you said?
Yeah. So you've got two that are right by the bridge, and then one that's just off in the woods, kind of a little bit, hurt by your thrust.
Okay. So Finner is going to. He's gonna try to swing around and draw the other wolf, the one that's not having a harpoon thrown at it, the one on kind of the far side.
Yep.
He's gonna try to attract its attention to bring him back into sort of the snow, the clearing, to fight him one-on-one.
Wow. Okay, cool. That I think is, since you're not attacking it directly, that sounds like you are.
I'm just sort of beating the ground with my
Yeah,
staff and yelling, "Come get me! Come on!
cool.
Here I am!"
Well, that sounds like boar die to me.
Okay.
Because you're showing aggression. So, good luck. So, and how are you gonna do that again?
I'm gonna do that.
Robustly.
Boldly.
Bravely, cool. Yeah, bravely. All right, go ahead and roll that, and then we'll kind of resolve both of your guys at the same
right.
time.
Got 3.
Okay. So, but Adam got a 6, which means you just get your 1 feat, which is helpfully, right?
Yep.
Cool. Sweet. So, describe.
I
what
hurled a
happens,
harpoon, which is like yay thick. It's like maybe like 2 inches in diameter. This thick thing, and it just catches the thing in the side and pins the
Nice.
thing and pins the wolf to one of the pillars of the bridge.
Oh, nice. Wow.
So it's just in range of her. It's snapping at her, and then it finds itself stuck.
Okay, and it yelps and starts trying to pull itself free.
Which only causes more damage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cool, and that allows Itis to turn on the other one, and
Nope, she finished that one off.
now she's fighting that. She's able to take a couple swipes at that one and keep it at bay. And but for Finner, that thing is just completely. Actually, let's see.
I've attracted the other one instead.
No, they disappear and you lose track of them.
You know what? It's I think you are gonna attract it, especially because Itis takes a couple swings and it thinks, oh, she's too dangerous, but you're over here yelling, and I think it pounces on you. It like runs over with more speed than you thought possible, and you're not quite ready for its charge. So I'm actually going to give you some harm here, and how that works is you write down the kind of harm next to one of these feats, and you can't use that feat until you heal up or something. So for example, this one is going to it's going to knock you down into the snow and pin you down, and you feel the weight of this massive wolf on top of your chest, and it's gonna hear kind of a crack in your chest, in your rib cage. It kind of it takes your breath away. So you've got a cracked rib, which is gonna keep you from doing things forcefully.
Bravely.
I think it might be more dramatically powerful if it attacks his bravery, because now...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So he just looks embarrassed in front of the Galti whose girl he's been trying to steal.
Also, a cracked rib, I imagine, would tend to make you hesitate getting hit in the rib
Does
again.
Finner scream
So
in pain? Does it really embarrass him?
It's not so much the rib; it's the psychological impact of
Right.
the reminder of what happened last time. Cool. Yeah. So put that next to bravely. All right. Sweet. So there's still this wolf to be dealt with. Idis immediately and Galti, you, it's kind of painfully obvious that as soon as she realizes that Finner is being attacked, she runs over to him and starts slashing at this wolf as well and trying to push it off. And she just, completely, regardless of her own safety, puts herself in danger to get this thing off Finner.
That a girl. So courageous, Finner. Alright, I'm gonna grab for Finner's staff and try and knock this wolf into next week. He's my buddy, after all.
Okay. And Finner, what are you doing now with this thing under you? Or over you, rather.
Yeah, I'm basically trying to wrestle it to the ground. Trying to basically get my hands around its throat. And I'm going to try to squeeze the life out of it if I can get a hold of it.
Okay, cool. So smacking it with the staff, that's definitely your combat die.
Yep.
And pick a feat for that.
Okay, I was gonna go for precisely.
Okay.
And I got a 1.
Cool. And I think
Not your weapon. Swing and a miss.
the threat for you, Finner, you have to do it. If you don't do it forcefully, it's gonna get a bite in, for sure.
Right. There's nothing like wrestling to be forceful, so I will do that.
Okay.
Combat die, I
Yep.
assume.
Combat.
Got
Yeah, I got a
5.
1. I'm gonna knock. What should I knock off?
Oh, well, you weren't actually being attacked, so you're not going to take any harm. But I'll tell you what goes wrong in a sec.
Okay.
I got a 5.
5. Okay. So you get the one thing, which is forcefully. Sweet. So you're able to avoid its attack, and start choking it, right, and holding it at bay, and Galti, you start, smacking this thing and trying to push it off, to no avail, and Idis is like hacking at its fur, but even her keen sword is having little effect. It's leaving red slashes in it, but it just keeps snarling and keeps pushing and grabbing for Finner on the ground here. And I think at this point, Snorri will, he finally makes his way off the bridge. And he is going to, he's going to run over and show you guys how it's done here. He comes over with his big battle axe, and he lets out a yell and holds it, two-handed over his head, and charges this thing and brings his battle axe down right on top of this wolf's head, and suddenly, Finner, you feel the wolf relax and give up, and you're able to push it away and get out from under it, and it lies there dead.
I hand Finner back his staff and help him to his feet.
All right, and Idis, as you're doing that, Idis grabs him and
I'm gonna make an owl roll here to read the
gives him a
situation.
hug. Okay, you're trying to figure out what's going on.
I think I get a sense. Okay, I got a 10.
Okay, so you get to choose 3 feats.
All right.
You can choose the same one multiple times if you want.
Well, forcefully, impressively, and sincerely. Just saying.
Get a read. Okay.
If it isn't my beloved, I join in the hug, and over Finn's head, I give her a look that just says, if you're trying what I think you're trying, you should stop trying it immediately.
All right. Cool.
And seeing if she doesn't loosen her hug a little bit at that.
Yeah. Well,
anyone hurt?
Things get awkward quick. That's for sure. Okay. Snorri says, "Oh, I'm fine. In fact, I think I just earned a mark from the let's see. I just earned a mark from the wolf spirits. No thanks to you guys."
I look up with understanding, knowing what that is.
Yeah. So the marks and rites. So part of being a wildling is proving your worthiness to take the rites of passage. So during your adventure, this is done by performing challenging deeds and earning marks. So when your wildling faces a task of consequence where failure can severely affect your progress, you can choose to describe your action with defiance, facing trouble fearlessly, or nobility, performing an act that would please the spirits. For example, instead of evading some bear tribesmen, you confront them face to face with a mighty roar, or while hunting in the woods, you choose to release some trapped wolf pups despite your growing hunger. So if you decide to do something with defiance or nobility, you roll your spirit die twice and keep the lowest result. But if you are successful, you make a mark next to that spirit on your sheet. And ultimately, when you get enough marks next to each spirit equal to the die rating, so 10 next to your D10 spirit or 4 next to your D4 spirit, then you can, and you make it back to the village safely, then you can take the rites of passage and become a true warrior. The other thing marks do for you is if you have a mark next to a spirit and you fail on some other roll, you can erase a mark and say how that spirit is helping you to re-roll. I think. Or just roll its die instead and use that result if it's higher. So so keep that in mind for earning marks. They're super helpful. So he's saying that he stood up and he showed bravery and went into a dangerous situation, and the wolf spirit rewarded him.
We were already there.
We were already
my harpoon.
Yeah, but you guys were in trouble. You guys weren't making progress. And
I gave him a pat on the back.
Yeah, that's right. You guys owe me.
All right, Snorri. Did I tell you my relation to Snorri?
No, feel free.
Snorri is jealous of me, or so my father says.
Okay. Okay.
How's he feel towards me?
Idis says, "Are you okay, Galti? Or sorry, are you okay?"
I'm doing fine.
Yes, I am fine. and he sort of doesn't say that with a whole lot of conviction. He looks down at the sort of obliterated wolf, almost with a bit of sadness, and then reaches down and sort of touches it, and takes a bit. There's a bit of blood now on his fingers from that, and he goes over to Snorri, and with the blood on his thumb, and marks it on each one of his cheeks, and says, "You deserve this for saving my life."
Yeah, well, I guess somebody had to do it. So.
Snorri, I'd like to remind you, you can't earn a mark for sarcasm. Now, I'm going to try and think of how to get over this bridge.
Yeah.
What's in front of me? Is it is it completely broken across?
No. So the bridge is intact. It's an old wooden plank bridge with as wood and ropes, and it's covered in ice and heavy snow right now. Only a few of the planks are broken where Snorri fell through, sort of near to the opposite side. But other than that, it's intact. You could still possibly cross it, although it's really weighed down right now. It's like creaking under the weight. Also, you have a wolf still stabbed, still stuck to the.
I finish it off with my knife.
Okay, cool.
Before taking the harpoon out, I just make a bunch of cuts.
All right, it takes a little bit of doing, but it's not too difficult. You're able to do it without threat.
Part of the harpoon training is knowing what happens when the harpoon doesn't completely do its job.
Yeah. Cool. So on top of getting across the bridge, do you want to do anything with these wolf bodies?
I'm going to look around and see if there's anything on their physiology that would indicate that they're acting irrationally, or is this just how wolves are?
Well, let's see. Is there such a roll?
I think I'd be looking and listening carefully.
Yeah. It sounds like you'll use your owl die. So first pick a feat, though, how you want to go about.
Cleverly.
Okay.
And let's go for impressively.
Yeah. Well, you just pick the one, and then maybe you get to choose more.
Okay. Then I'll go with cleverly and start it off there.
Cool.
A 7.
That's fine. All right. So, you do get a second one then.
Cleverly and impressively.
All right.
In less time that took him to soak his fingers in blood, I have a solution.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. Something has disturbed these wolves, let's say. What do you think that is?
I'm guessing Hela's anger. The fact that the babe got taken was the warning sign, was clearly something we've displeased them. And it's probably due to a breakdown in our social order. So I detect an extreme amount of the yellow bile, which indicates that this wolf was agitated by the spirits.
Wow. Okay. Idis is definitely blown away by this. Wow. How do you know so much about these wolves?
I'm a quick study, but the old stories guide us well, even today. I gave her a peck on the cheek.
But
you fight bravely. I'm proud of you.
Well, I couldn't save Finner.
I whispered her, it's good that Snorri's useful for something. It will assuage his jealousy. Onward then. Okay.
All right. Well, um,
Would you like to lead the way, Finner?
Is there a way around this gorge, I wonder?
well, there could be. Um, you have not explored a way around yet, but could perhaps find one. I would say doing so would be a couple different ways you could do it. Either you could use your wolf die to track or hunt and try to find some other trail, or stag die if you open your heart to the wild and try to, you know, perhaps the forest or the animals or some spirit will tell you another way around.
And where is this other wolf, the one that went back into the woods? Is it still lurking there? Do we see it?
You don't see it, but it's possible it ran away, or it could be waiting out there. You don't know.
Did we wound that one?
We knocked it. We knocked it silly a little bit, but
yeah,
nothing flesh woundy.
Darn.
Yeah.
Can't track the blood.
Okay. Then I'm going to track. I'm going to attempt to track the for another trail. Hopefully, where this wolf may have run to.
Okay. Cool. So pick a feat for that.
Thoroughly.
Okay. Cool. It's not actually on the list, but I'm cool with that.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at the old John Harper sheet. It probably maps to
Yeah.
precisely or something. Carefully.
Yeah.
Carefully sounds like.
Carefully. Yeah, that's cool. All right. So roll your wolf die. See what we got here. So that's your that's your main
Yes.
squeeze, main thing. Cool.
I got a 10.
10. Sweet.
That's my
So
boy.
10 or higher is you get to pick 3 things total. So carefully and
I'm going to do it carefully and precisely and
Quickly or impressively makes sense.
yeah, or cleverly. I'm going to say cleverly. Potential for, seeing something that might have been overlooked.
cool. All right. So Ida says, "Man, I told you we shouldn't try to cross that bridge."
You should have listened to her, Finner.
Yeah, I was right. But anyway, Finner, you head off following the paw prints in the snow where this wolf went off into the woods, and you can actually it's a rather large wolf, and it leaves a large trail, and you find exactly where it kind of circled around a little bit, and you can tell it was anxiously waiting and kind of watching for its brothers. But at some point it took off again along the gorge. And why don't you go ahead and describe what you ultimately find as you're walking along?
So yeah, they sort of come out of the woods further down the gorge and follow along the edge for the most part. And it seems the woods sort of the gorge sort of starts to narrow, and it kind of narrows, and the woods kind of wrap around the gorge. So there's no way to get around it without going into the woods. So it seems there's not another bridge or passageway that I can find. Um, but the trail leads right, sort of back into the forest, almost like it was taking a shortcut,
Mhm.
and perhaps trying to avoid something in the woods as long as possible.
Yeah.
Uh,
Cool. Okay. I think yeah. So eventually you get to the gorge narrows down and you find another way around it. Um, but it takes most of the day. So you have to take a couple breaks here and there as you're tracking, and the sun slowly starts
Good,
going
you can
down.
recover one of those hits.
Um,
mhm.
yeah, yeah. So how are you how are you gonna uh, get your courage back here? Your confidence.
um, let's see. What do we carry with us? Probably not. We carry any kind of skin of
Uh,
water.
I brought liquor.
I
Well, so essentially what he does is a little bit like the magic spray in soccer. He takes some of the water and pours it on the rib and kind of exposes it to the cold,
mm,
and it numbs the pain enough that he starts to be able not to feel it as he's moving around. It gives it time to stop
okay.
smarting so badly.
I think Snorri he's not too impressed by you, but Idis she's more encouraging about your tracking, and she kind of tells you that it could happen to anybody. This a wolf attack. I mean, it happened to Galti as well, so it's nothing to be ashamed of.
What did she? Sorry, I missed that. I was looking
So
at magic
she
spray.
she reassures Spinner that you know being overwhelmed by a wolf attack is no problem. No shame in that.
No. Let me tape that over for you, buddy.
Okay, cool.
So we can get rid of that harm.
Yeah.
I lean in close as I patch up your rib and just say, "How's your betrothed doing, Finner? Still got that lazy eye?"
He sort of looks at you like, um, "What are you talking about? I'm not betrothed."
No? I thought that was the thing. I thought we all had.
No, Finner's a bit of a loner. Never seems quite. See, he. Well, I won't say too much to you, but he.
You can tell me out of character. Galti won't know it if don't tell him.
Well, I mean, Adis may be in love with me, and I know it, but I'm not particularly interested in that, creating
Gender.
that kind of problem between the two of us.
Oh, all right.
Mm,
Then I don't say something mean. I just say, just thank you. Let's get through this and save that kid.
okay. Let's see. So on the way, I think as you're tracking this wolf and it leads you across the gorge. Um, it's getting pretty late, almost nightfall, and Snorri starts thinking, oh, we should find a place, uh, some place to sleep, some place to hide for the night. Um, and you track this wolf to the wolf's den, actually, and uh, fortunately, you kind of recognize the additional wolf tracks coming into it. So you know it's coming up. You know there's this wolf den, and it looks like that's where this wolf that escaped ultimately came to. And it's not alone out here. There's you can actually sort of hear the wolves off in the distance a little bit. So how are you going to approach them, and what are you going to do in this situation? I mean, you also need to find shelter. So what are you going to do?
I got one. Wait until the wolves are inside, throw in branches and then set the thing on fire. Smoke them out. Or asphyxiate them.
Or we could try to get past them and avoid them altogether.
Yeah, but then where are we going to sleep? I can sleep in the woods. I'm a boar, but I don't know about these two.
Hey, this is. I can sleep anywhere you can sleep.
Yes, you may.
Oh, hey,
I
didn't
just
mean
said that. I gave her a smirk.
Center sort of shakes his head.
So
We have tinder. We have plenty of twigs and branches. And wolves still need to breathe like we do. I think it's a wonderful plan.
And when we smoke them out, shall we have another exhausting battle with... How many wolf tracks do I see?
Well, it's a good point. It's a good point. I say we block off the other entrances and we smoke them in.
there's at least probably half a dozen.
I'm saying we block off the other entrances and that block the main entrance with fire. They won't be able to go out unless you think wolves can run through a campfire.
And we believe, and Finner is able to tell the wolves are currently elsewhere and not in the den?
No, they're well.
My plan was to wait till all of them.
You can
went
hear
in.
you can hear the wolves, like you can hear you know like one of them howls, and you can hear them kind of talking to each other a little bit up ahead. So they're definitely there already. And Idas says we can't just we shouldn't kill them. I mean, it's their home.
And I'm going to say that I agree, but I'm going to say that their home would make an excellent place for us to stay tonight. We just need to make some room. Finner's going to volunteer to try to lure the wolves out while the rest of the party sneaks into the den and starts a fire, which would keep them out. And then try to make his way, try to basically circle back around and get himself.
What does the den look like? Is it just a cave? Does it have multiple entrances? Is there ventilation?
I mean, you haven't.
That matters for my plan.
If you get closer, then the wolves might detect you. So do you want to go check it out?
Yeah, I have a D8 snake, I think. Yeah. I'll look ahead and see if my plan is viable.
Okay, so pick a feat for that real quick.
I am going to go for it carefully.
All right. And
I got a
snake
4.
die. 4. Okay, that's a success. So you get up there carefully and staying downwind of the wolves, so they can't smell you. And it is a in this forest. It is it's kind of a where a tree has fallen. One of these massive trees has fallen down, and it forms a kind of natural bridge over a couple of stones, like boulder-sized things. So it's not really a cave as such, but it's got kind of a this
overhang.
Rotting tree over these stones, and that's where they're kind of hanging out. And you can see there are 4 adult ice wolves, and then there's also a few pups
Mm.
kind of hanging out near one of these boulders. And you also can see that these they look hungry. All of these creatures here. Um, and you're not 100% sure, but one of these adults does look like the one that attacked you. Um,
I report back that they're mostly over there. And Finner's strategy of scaring them off might work, but we'd have to have someone rotate who's stoking the fire all night. Which isn't unreasonable, but it's worth bearing in mind.
Is it? Were you able to tell if it was the kind of thing where you sort of got something to your back, or is it open on all sides?
Which one is it?
It's more open than it's not like a cave or anything. It's just kind of just a little bit of shelter, but it's pretty open.
So we definitely need someone on watch. But we could get enough fire to scare away animals.
As long as it doesn't set the overhanging tree on fire.
Yeah.
We put it off to the side. We don't put it dead center.
Yeah. You do know these ice wolves tend to stay away from fire whenever possible. So.
All right. Finner, if you'd like to earn your mark. What's your plan for scaring these, or for taking these wolves away?
I have been practicing my wolf calls. If I can get enough distance from the rest of you in the opposite direction, with a clear plan to get myself back, I think maybe we can fool them.
Okay. So I want to point out the complication here is that there's wolf pups that look less than a year old. And even if you lead the adults away, they're probably not going to take the pups with them. So you're going to have to deal with those somehow.
We'll take them into our care and love them and squeeze them.
Okay, well, it could be complicated because...
Not serious.
So...
We have to scare away I'll scare away the wolf pups.
Well, somebody will have to...
Adults, I'll scare the pups. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, somebody will have to go in and get them and bring them out and sit them in the snow.
Sure.
Leave it to a boar.
They're not a threat like the adults are, but...
No, but I need to get them out of there so they're not there all night.
Sure. Okay. So Finner, you're trying to lead these guys away, I guess. It's probably I could see an owl die for implementing a clever plan, or
You open your heart to the wild makes
maybe
sense.
open your heart. Yeah, stag would work.
Okay.
And then pick. Are you gonna try to go for a mark?
Explain the going for a mark. What does that modify?
So you have to roll twice and take the lower result.
I see.
Whatever you roll. Okay. And it has to be an action of defiance, like facing trouble fearlessly, or of nobility, which is performing an act that would please the spirits. And if you succeed after rolling twice and taking the lower, then you earn your mark. And you also, you succeed at the action. So
the 2 rolls count as the roll for the action?
Yes.
Yep. Roll 2 keeps the lower.
Yep.
All right.
So I'm gonna higher chance of failure, but potentially you get your mark.
And I still choose feats for this?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do this cleverly. And I'm going to go for a mark, which I imagine would be perhaps nobility, since we're trying not to kill them.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense to me. Okay, so roll your stag die twice. So that's a D10 for you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I rolled a 3 and a 1.
Oh, okay. One. Well, they both fail, huh?
Yes.
One is a miss. So you don't get your mark, and you make your wolf call and try to draw them out.
And nobody hears it.
And oh, they hear it.
Well, I can tell you what my plan was. My plan was to do it by kind of climbing up into a nearby tree, and then which had a branch kind of extending closer to the entrance of the cave, and I was going to try to drop down behind them after they and run into the cave. That was my plan.
Nice. Well,
so I'm up in this tree.
okay. And I think you get yourself in trouble. Okay, that's fine. You draw them out, and get up in the tree, and they're kind of circling around the tree and just waiting for you, right? And as soon as you drop down, kind of outside of their circle, and try to run for it, but when you drop down, you don't see a stone that's covered with snow here. It's kind of a bunch of boulders and stones in this area. And so you completely biff on the landing, and they surround you. They quickly run over and surround you before you can get up and run. Okay, so meanwhile,
this is not a good day for Finner.
Having not heard any wolf call way before, I rush back to the area holding a torch and waving it.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to show some aggression.
Nice.
I'm going to do this impressively and bravely.
Are you attacking them right now, or just
No, I'm just trying to scare them off.
Okay, so that die will be a
D10 when you show aggression.
Oh, show aggression. Oh, boar die. Yeah, makes sense.
Did I injure myself on this fall, or just sort of landed on my ass?
Yeah, you just didn't land on your feet. Okay. By the way, are you doing this with defiance to try to get a mark?
No.
Okay. It's always an option.
Yeah, I got my stream filled up. I don't know what's up.
I can't actually see your dice, so.
Okay.
Just hit clear and roll it again, I guess.
Oh, there we go. 2.
Okay, so that's another miss. So they, these 4 wolves, rather than running, one of them, turns to face you, Galti, and just bares its teeth and starts growling at you. It seems it's gonna stand its ground. And the other ones start, they kind of widen their circle around you, and they're trying to surround both of you guys. And I think Idis and Snorri, come up after you as well. And they're, Snorri's got his battle axe out and ready to go. And Idis is probably, let's see. She's going to try to be a hero here. And she's going to try to draw them off herself. So she starts yelling and screaming, and she picks up a stone out of the snow and starts throwing it at these wolves to kind of distract them. So, Finner, you've got an opportunity here to, get out or maybe strike at the wolves. What do you do?
So even from his position on the ground, he still has his staff. He's going to essentially kind of helicopter his staff around and try to literally take out, swing at kind of all of the wolves in reach to at least either hit some of them or get them to back up. So it's going to be, an attack type of movement.
Cool, makes sense. So pick a. You'll use your warrior die and pick a feat.
Impressively.
All right, cool.
Since it's sort of a multiple foe attack.
Yeah.
Got a 10.
Nice.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so you can even pick a couple of bonus. You could pick impressively again, which would make it even more impressive, right?
Yeah. I'm actually going to go triple impressively.
Oh, right. Sweet. I figured you might want to do that. So,
he sort of like leaps up from the lying position, onto his feet, like just by flinging himself, and swings. That's his movement.
Sweet. And do you hit any of these wolves?
Yeah, I hit all of them, 3 of them.
Nice.
However many of them there are.
Nice. There's 4 total.
But we're trying to scare them off.
Yeah.
Cool. So you give a good smack to every single one, and that gets them moving for sure, because they're it's so impressive that they're taken aback, and they all kind of spin around when you hit them and sort of take off in different directions.
And when he's done, he's sort of in this like crouch with the the staff kind of extending out onto the ground.
All part of the plan.
Just daring them to come at him again.
Cool.
All part of the plan. Yep. You nailed it.
Okay. But one of them runs back towards the den. So, and towards the pups that are still there.
Did anyone happen to grab the pups, or are they?
I was going to. I was going to scare them off, and I had to rescue your ass, but apparently I didn't. Your old flop on the ground out of a tree.
Yeah, you didn't have time to get into the den. So, what do you do?
I'm going to just hold up my hand and just crane my neck and listen very carefully.
Okay. And
even though I can't see what's going on, I'm going to describe with perfect detail what's happening. So I'm going to make this a mark.
Okay. So is this something with defiance or nobility?
I think nobility. I'm just going to be so tuned into nature.
Oh, okay. Cool. Right on. So go ahead and roll your owl die twice.
A 9 and a 9.
Oh, wow. All right. So you get a mark. So you can draw that mark next to your owl somewhere, and that can be just an X or a cool symbol or whatever. And pick your
I say wait.
Your 3.
And I go impressively well. He's picking up the pups. He's now picking up the pups. They're leaving northwest. They will be out of earshot in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is safe.
All right. Nice.
Also, Snorri has gas.
Hey.
Yeah, you thought that was a silent one, didn't you?
Better out than in.
Well, that's a good point.
All right. Cool. So you've secured the den. Indeed, the pups were taken away, and you're able to get a small fire going. It's still cloudy, sort of cloudy weather, but it doesn't look like it's going to storm or anything. Maybe a light snow. And you guys are able to take watch through the night. So, is there anything you guys want to do before we kind of skip ahead? Anything over the night?
I think I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay. Cool. So, you kind of lost some time having to go around the gorge and everything, and you've kind of lost the path of whatever thing, this foul thing that snuck into the village. Um, so you wake up to a kind of a clear day. It's still fairly cold out though, and um, as you set out, let's see. Snorri wakes up, and it turns out Snorri starts complaining about the lack of his lack of dried meat. It seems he ate it all.
You can have mine.
Outside.
I'm not hungry.
He looks at you a little mistrustfully, and then takes your meat and starts chewing on it. So you guys are kind of, if you look at the map on the last couple, towards the end of the book there, you guys are, let's see. Try to screen share this thing. Okay. You guys are still in the old forest, and you kind of took a northern path. So you're heading up. You're kind of almost to the Valley of the Giants at this point, I'll say. And you know there's a landmark here, which is one of these big stone monuments. And from there, you know it's sort of at the entrance towards the valley, and you've been told by the wise women of the tribe not to go into the Valley of the Giants because there are literal giants, and besides which, there are dangers beyond the mountains that Wildling is ill prepared to deal with. So.
We'd better hurry then and catch this beast before they abscond with the child.
Yeah, so what do you do?
There are no giants, Finner says. That's just the tale they tell us to keep us
away from giants.
Have you ever seen a giant?
I've seen some very large shadows.
I think you were just seeing your own shadow, or...
Yes, me, who can hear wolf pups from a quarter mile away. And please doubt the testimony of my senses some more.
Snorri speaks up. He says, well, my father, he saw a giant once, and he's a real warrior. He even fought a giant once. In fact, he slew 10 giants.
Wait, let's get this story straight. You led off with my father saw a giant once.
Yeah,
then
he told
you
me
upped
about
the
it.
ante with he fought a giant once, and then he killed 10 giants. So I think you buried the lead on this one.
It was a great battle that he told me about. Why, are you calling me a liar?
Well, since there are no giants...
We're calling you a liar
we're
by
calling
telling
you a liar.
I don't think it deserves the accolade of liar, because a liar at least represents a false truth. You just made something up. I'd rather call you an inadequate storyteller.
All right, Galti. And Snorri walks over and puts a hand on your shoulder and he says, "You just besmirched the honor of my warrior dad."
Well, then I'd apologize. But, you know, my grandfather was 10 giants, so I think we're even. And then I hold onto his shoulder and slap him on the back and say, we got to keep going. We got to save this kid, buddy.
All right. Right? He's not letting it go, though.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to cleverly outwit him so that attacking me makes him look like an asshole.
Sounds like an owl die thing.
6. I'm going to do that.
So you get the cleverly, for sure.
I guess I can go cleverly.
Yeah. All right.
I look over at Finn like, come on, I thought you were kidding. I sincerely say I didn't mean to offend you, but your father did not.
Finner stands
If your
up.
father slew 10 giants, he would have told everybody, not just you.
All right.
Finner
all right.
stands up and sort of walks over and tries to stands in front of Galti and says, we really don't have time for this. We need to get some rest.
All right. All right. All right. Let's go then. Let's go. But only because we're on a quest.
All right.
So, Snorri turns around and walks off in a random direction, having no idea where we're going.
Not that way. Follow Finn.
Okay.
Looks like you want to get some quicklies on your
So you're
the trail.
looking for this trail here? So that's definitely a wolf die thing.
Indeed.
And yeah, definitely. I mean, one of the threats here is time is working against you. So quickly would be good.
I'm going to quickly track or look for the trail.
Okay.
And I rolled a 1.
Okay. Cool. That's fine. You find the trail, or you find a trail. Unfortunately, it's much larger than the one you thought you were looking for. Up to now, you've been looking for some kind of vaguely, looks like kind of a, really big footprints. Probably some kind of like man-made shoes, right? Like a wrap, something, but pretty big guy. But this trail is something else entirely. This is clearly the trail of a giant. You've got not only is these huge swaths of snow cleared away on this path, but you see trees bent out of the way as he was walking through the old forest. And this giant has is clearly very close by. In fact, you hear the bending of a tree and the creaking and the snow falling off of it as it loosens up. So this thing is right in your path to where you think the other guy was going.
I'm gonna look for an escape route. I'm just gonna cleverly try and step out of the way, and I got a 3. So
Okay.
a bit overwhelmed. Was not expecting giants.
Yeah. Okay. So you look for a way around this guy, and unfortunately,
Big shadow.
Yeah, big shadow. Exactly.
Okay.
So this, you find a way. Oh, there is a way around this guy, but it's through his legs, pretty much. And as this giant comes into view, you see he's taller than the village longhouse, and he is carrying a sack of things over his shoulder, and other than that, he's actually strangely he's not wearing any clothing. Like the cold doesn't seem to bother him at all.
Oh, well. Avert
So
your
he's
eyes,
got
I guess.
this sack, and he looks down at you, and he does not look particularly friendly.
Hail, friend
He's
giant.
he's just kind of watching you for now.
I give a polite bow.
Okay.
I
Finir
am Galti, son of Iav.
grabs his battle axe at the ready.
Yep. 1 sec.
Uh-huh.
I am Galti, son of Iav. We have entered these lands to return one of our kinfolk. Finn, what does the guy look like that we're chasing? Finn.
We are actually trying to get back. What was her name?
Rilka.
Rilka.
A young babe.
Finner speaks up and says that we do not mean to trespass
Don't admit. Don't.
longer than is necessary to return. Do you have any knowledge of her whereabouts she was taken from us?
The babe.
The one with the power?
Why I help you?
Because you can, to show how powerful you are. Because it's taken us a lot of effort, but for you it'd be nothing, and that just shows how giant and awesome you are.
Maybe I eat you instead.
Well, if you eat us, then nobody's... Wait, listen to this. If you eat us, or even if you ate all the humans, you wouldn't be giant anymore, you'd be normal-sized. It's people like us who provide you with your awesomeness because of something I like to call scale.
Okay.
I'm going to address this guy's emotional needs with clear listening.
Sweet. Sounds like an owl thing to do.
5.
Alright, so you get one of those.
I guess I'm going to do this helpfully.
Hopefully. Okay.
Or sincerely.
Yeah, I think sincerely is the way to go here.
Okay, let's go sincerely.
So, he says, oh, okay. You're not very filling anyway.
Oh, well, okay.
In fact, I like you. And he puts down his sack, he says, if you can outdrink me, then I'll help you. And he takes out from his sack a large keg of ale.
Oh Lord.
Okay, time to form a huddle. Okay, guys. I think we could drink it, but we'd all be unable to complete our quest due to... Yeah.
Yeah. Idas is she's totally up for this. She's like, don't worry, guys.
You know that his drinking is... Yeah.
Thinner suggests that the best way out of the situation is to have him outdrink us to the point where he becomes...
Yeah, he'll start. Okay, you
incapable
us. You start.
And we fake it, and then we get the hell out of here.
Yeah, we dilute it with the snow.
Nice.
Okay, my plan is to have him start, and then when we're done, we'll accidentally spill the beer in the snow and just keep drinking until he passes out.
Okay. Well, you're not gonna get his help.
Well, fine. I guess I can go some bore on this.
I think we've determined that his help is not something we can obtain.
Okay.
Or not something that's particularly helpful.
Okay. Well, he seems to know something. That he's willing to tell you if you.
We'll get him to talk while he's drunk.
Yeah.
Before he passes out.
Okay. Fair enough.
Wait.
Cool.
All right.
So you're gonna fake it. So why don't you both do this? I think the the threat here is you have to do it secretly.
All right.
You have to, because otherwise he'll notice what you're doing, that you're tricking him.
Mhm.
Makes sense? So for your plan, Galti, I think, should roll the owl die, and Finner, what were you doing again?
I'm just generally trying to help.
Oh, you're gonna like try to get him to talk, right?
Right.
So I don't know what. That's probably owl die as well, I would think,
Okay.
for watching and listening.
Mhm.
Okay. So go ahead and roll that up. And,
Oh boy, I got a 2,
I got a
but
3.
guess what? I can re-roll that with my mark.
oh, okay. So how is
8.
your owl mark gonna help you here?
All right. I've been outsmarting this guy. He takes out the keg of beer, and I go with the old tribe tradition of you first. And then when he takes a big swig of beer, I was looking in another direction. I say, I missed it. You just
Okay.
come on. What you trying to cheat me? Big guy like you.
No, I know. No, you cheat. You cheat.
I haven't drank yet, and so
he says,
haven't you.
"Look," and he drinks again, and then he
All
says,
right, you got me.
Now you."
But you overdid it. You drank 4 times. You were only supposed to drink once. You should take a drink as penalty.
Okay. So
And in
so
that
you're
manner,
doing
I
this,
managed to get him riotously drunk.
cleverly and secretly.
I also drink a little because I'm not a loser, but you know.
All right, sweet. Of course. And yeah, Idis is kind of opposed to this trickery, so she does her best, trying to drink along with them.
Okay, that's
I think she gets a little wasted herself, but unfortunately, because Finner rolled a miss.
Finner doesn't. Finner gets caught pouring beer down his front, and he just has to.
Yeah, you managed to get no information from this guy. Actually, he says.
Actually, he gives us the information, but Finner is just the drunkest of all of us.
Yeah.
Because if we don't
I
get the
know.
information, the story doesn't go forward.
How does it go wrong, Finner?
Yeah, tell us, Finner.
Does it have to be I'm getting caught, or it can be?
It can be anything.
No, I like the idea that Finner himself gets a little drunk.
Nice.
Accidentally, and ends up saying a little too much about Adis and her crush.
Oh. Nice. I think, and Snorri knows your secret and holds it over you, and
That's not necessarily the secret.
it's not necessarily a secret, but he's gonna take this opportunity to, I think under with the excuse of having drunk a little bit, he's gonna spill the beans to Adis on what your secret is. So what is that secret that Snorri knows?
The secret is that Adis is actually my sister.
What?
Hey! That means you'll be my brother-in-law someday.
Yeah, so Snorri just spills the beans, and Adis is drunk and completely heartbroken right now. You cannot believe it. Awesome. But you do get the information. So this giant tells you that he already killed the monster. It was actually not a monster, but a guy. from his description, it sounds like he was a bear tribe raider.
Bear tribe.
And the longtime rivals of the people. And but he killed him and took his stuff and left Rilke. I mean, he didn't want any tiny squealing human, so he left her in the snow somewhere.
Help us find where.
And he passes out.
Mm-hmm.
He
All right, I
can't
go
even
through a sack.
can't even stand. Okay, so going through a sack, you find the in addition to this this keg, he had 2 sheep, a barrel of lard as well, and these were some other items that had been stolen.
How interesting.
All right.
And so you can these things, the sheep are actually have been slaughtered already.
Well, there's more meat for us.
And unfortunately, there's like more than you guys could carry, like this huge barrel of lard
Okay.
and these 2 sheep.
I'm gonna hide the barrel of lard in the tree somewhere in a spot that I know well, so that we could possibly go back and get it at some point.
Okay, cool.
A barrel of lard is plenty of lard, and it's
Yeah,
not worth giving to this dingus.
it's very valuable. Okay, so you can hide that. And what are you gonna do with the sheep? And then what are you gonna do about Rilke?
Quick
So
lunch.
let's say we bury much of the sheep in the snow. Perhaps it gives it the best chance of still being edible if we come back for it. We can take some straps of meat for ourselves.
Yeah, let's get enough for lunch. And then hide away the goods.
Awesome. All right, so you have a snack. Idis is she's not she kind of goes off on her own.
I'm gonna use my boar die to be there for her by holding steadfast.
Okay, nice. So go ahead and pick
I'm
a
just gonna
thief
take over to her
as well.
before she walks away and say, "Look, these kind of things happen."
Oh, this would
But
be a
this
good.
this is a sign that your attraction was ill-fated. Better that you know now before your heart is hardened and before it can come back to me. All right.
Okay.
That performance earns me a 2.
Okay.
I don't love you.
Yeah, she pushes you away, and actually she pushes you down into the snow, and she pulls her sword, her keen family sword out, and kind of points it at your chest, and she says, "Leave me alone. I'll never marry you." And then she runs off.
Finn.
So,
Finn is going to go running after her.
okay. And you find her kind of out of breath, leaning against a tree and crying. So what do you do? By the way, this would be a great time to go for a nobility.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly that. I'm gonna try to. I'm going to just get down there with her and hug her. and just try to get her to stop crying, or let her cry out.
Yeah.
Um,
Awesome. I think that's pretty good for Stag, for opening your heart to the wild.
mhm.
It's a pretty wild emotion she's going through.
Okay, so two
So,
stag die for
yep.
nobility.
Roll it twice. Take the lower.
A 4.
That'll do
All
it.
right. Perfect. So you get a mark of the stag.
Oh, I
And
didn't tell you what my feat was.
that's okay. You can pick one now. There was no particular thing you needed.
Yeah, helpfully.
Hopefully. Cool. So she turns to you, and hugs you and cries on your shoulder, and you take the time that she needs. So eventually she feels a little bit better, knowing that you still like she doesn't have to be so embarrassed, right? And you still support her, so that's cool. Um, awesome. Meanwhile, Galti, Snorri is like trying to say, oh, let's just leave those guys. We got to find Rilke, right? And hey, if you and me go and find her, then we can earn the respect of the spirits and the respect of the people. We'll be the heroes. What do you say, man?
I don't think pressing the issue with Idis would do much good for either of us right now. I say constructing an altar, putting up some sheep lamb as an offering, and demanding that the gods tell me where the child is.
Wow.
I'm very calm about this.
Okay. Awesome.
I'm going to do this sincerely.
Okay. Cool. That sounds like open your heart to the wild to me.
All right.
So Stag.
5.
All right. So you get the sincerely, and absolutely the gods. What do you? Just tell me what you.
I'm asking.
do at
I'm
the altar.
burning the offering, and I'm looking for the smoke to blow in the direction of the child.
Oh, nice. The sheep, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Give back what the Bear Clan took.
And you are predominantly an owl type personality. Yeah. And I think not only does the smoke blow to the northeast, but as you look in that direction, an owl actually flies and lands on a high branch of a tree right there, and then takes off in that direction and kind of lands on another tree a little further on.
It is done.
This owl is definitely guiding you.
I leave a note. I leave just a big arrow for Finn, and I know he can. And I'm not covering my tracks, so I'll know he can figure it out.
Awesome. All right. So you and Snorri head off, and go ahead and let's do. I think one last roll to find. I mean, the owl guides you to the general area,
Mm-hmm.
And you can either, let's see. I think you need to finally find the babe in the snow. It'll take a let's say.
I'm just gonna listen carefully. That baby is not keeping quiet.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm just closing my eyes, and I let out a quiet whoo. Wait for the child to respond.
All
8.
Right. Cool. So carefully and.
Let's go with impressively.
Impressively. All right. So Snorri is like, "What? Why'd you stop? Where'd the owl go?" And yeah, you hear the cry.
I rush over to the babe.
And Rilke is there. You recognize her. She's she's still got her blanket around her, but she's clearly very very cold. You can feel her face is cold, and she's looking really still, right? And she's just barely crying out. Um, and nearby is a some blood, and you can see where the giant, this hill giant, had um, struggled with the guy and taken this bandit's stuff. Um, but
I held
if
the roca close to my chest and looked to see if there's any sign of the guy, proof that would incriminate the Bear Clan.
Yeah, well, there's than more than that. Uh, you actually hear a couple of people, a couple of Bear Tribe members, it sounds like, in the woods, and they're calling out. They're still some distance away, but they're calling out as if they're searching for their friend,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to figure out where he got off to. So, so what do you do?
I owe them nothing. I write slain by giants in the guy's blood and step off much more carefully to cover my trail.
Okay, nice. Yeah, and
So
Snorri's
I'm
gonna.
showing aggression, but I think that if they're not opposing it actively, it'll just be.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Snorri is a sneaky type, and he sneaks right along with you. That's fine. So you're just gonna sort of fade back into the woods and
Mhm.
avoid them. Uh, no vengeance for Rilke.
I figure they're gonna get one. If they think the giant did it, they're gonna try and find the drunken giant, and my two problems will solve each other. That's how an owl does things.
All right, nice, nice, cool. Okay, Finner. Um, uh, so what do you do when Idis is ready to go find Rilke?
We make our way back,
Yeah,
and
you find the arrow pointing in the direction they went, and then you can also you start to hear the calls of a couple of people out there in a
so
language that you recognize as Bear Tribe language.
yeah, so I tell Adis to follow me, and I break into a run in that direction, kind of keeping my eyes down, tracking at a high rate of speed, but it's sort of I'm in the zone, I try to get into the zone and just track as fast as I can to get there,
Cool.
following the sounds, following the trail.
Okay, so you're tracking quickly. So go ahead and roll your wolf die. Then
Okay. 6.
6. Okay, so you get your quickly. Cool.
Mhm.
So you see that you recognize Snorri and Galti's trail. They kind of they went up into the woods away from the main trail, and you're able to follow that and catch up to them without running into the Bear Tribe members. So uh, you see they have Rilke, and your quest is, yeah, at least you have your objective, but you're not out of the woods, so to speak. Uh, cool. So I think we can pretty much wrap it up here.
That's
Do you
fine.
guys do you have any ideas for like final scenes or epilogue or anything like that you want to do? Anything else you want to try?
I wordlessly hand the baby to it.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, she'll take care of it
I
for
will be
now.
giving you many more. Step off. And I step off back towards the town.
All right. She glares at you, for sure.
Don't care.
And yeah, let's see.
I earned the respect of Snorri. I outwitted a giant. killed a wolf. I did pretty good today.
Unfortunately, you spent your owl mark, so you're no closer to your rites of passage.
It wasn't about that. I know I'm a man. It's just about proving it to everyone else.
Right, right.
And I did that to 3 people today, so multiply that by the tribe, it won't be too long.
Snorri says, I think Snorri comes to you, Finner, as you're making your way back to the village. Snorri kind of pulls you aside and says, you know, that Galti, he's kind of a jerk. Do you want to, maybe we can come up with something. Maybe we can work together on this problem.
Finner sort of looks at Snorri and says, what did you have in mind?
He thinks he's so smart and clever.
And brave and handsome.
We could maybe we could show maybe we could show the wise women some weakness of his.
Oh,
what do you think? Can you think of anything?
Diddle 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 thumb. On the world of me.
Well, I happen to know his great weakness, and he sort of indicates Adis. But I will not put her in any danger.
Okay. How about we encourage Adis to publicly revoke him then when we get back?
That's entirely up to her, Finner says.
Yeah, that's gonna go well. Go with the guy who stood up to a giant, and then just say I hate you, and see how that goes over. The guy who found the baby.
All right. Well, you're too noble, Finner. That's your problem. That's what's wrong with you. Don't you know it's a competition, man? We gotta...
Hey boys, what are we talking about?
Show him who's boss.
The way we show each other who's boss in this tribe is through our marks. You have yours, I don't have any, and I don't plan on returning until I do.
No.
Finner turns around and walks back into the woods.
Okay. Well, you do have the mark, though. You have your stag mark, right?
Ah, no. Did I ever get a mark? I failed at my mark.
No, you got the one for...
Yeah, you flopped on your head.
For helping Idis.
Ah, I did get my mark for that.
Yeah. So you're good there. And Snorri got one for bravely standing up to that wolf. All right. Well, I think we can end it there then. If you're not going to go along, that's fine. Cool. So what do you guys think? Any comments on any feedback, positive or negative, on the system or how I ran it?
Hard to tell with two.
Or
yeah, it's a bit. I like this kind of system with the choosing words off of die rolls and so forth. Mm-hmm. Very kind of apocalypse worldy.
Yeah.
But I think it might be a little better if some of the outcomes weren't so sweeping, I guess, if they were a little more granular. I almost felt like we sort of like quickly solved major problems with a single roll.
Yeah, it's true. And I feel like I could have done a better job kind of requiring certain things, right? Like putting more threats and like, okay, well you have to do this, you know, like the wolves can hear you and they
I think it's more that in
run
any
you down or
system where you
something, right?
assign
So
dice to traits, the natural instinct is to cover your ass
Mm-hmm.
and not and to solve things according to who you are and not stray too far from it.
Mm-hmm.
I think something that works well in the Marvel system is that the more you fuck up, the more power you get. So you're encouraged to use your D4s.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably be more fucking up trying to do Fennec stuff with my wolf die if I knew that I'd be mechanically rewarded instead of endangering the party.
yeah, it's also true that you
Like I
don't.
could not I have a 1 in 16 chance on succeeding if I try a mark in my weakness,
Yeah,
which the system should encourage you to try and be really heroic with something that you're bad at.
Right.
yeah. Well, on the other hand, you only need 4 marks, like to completely succeed there. Like, but you're right.
I don't think there's enough epicness for you to get what 15, 16, 24
Yeah.
epic feats per person,
Um.
and then you can't use them, and that's.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
Well,
you should
I mean
score it when you accumulate it.
that's like campaign play, so
Yeah.
like many sessions down the road. But yeah, maybe I could. Part of solving that is that you don't get to choose which die your actions use. So if I could, like, I should put you in situations where you have to do something, you know, you have to track or you have to go into danger, right? So I'm
I
like,
would
well,
think because these are so broad
yeah,
that it would be almost impossible unless I'm faced by a goblin who says, "Follow me into the woods, friend."
right,
Because
yeah,
otherwise you can't minimize. You have to have a weakness, but you don't have to constantly fail it. That's the balance. And I think by exploiting the ones, doing something interesting with the ones or the failures,
yeah,
encourage that you mix up. You mix up like, okay, it's a time in the story where normally my character would fuck up and embarrass everyone. I'm gonna roll something I'm bad at, and then I
yeah,
succeed, and that's interesting, or I fail, and that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Um,
But you ran a very interesting dynamic, Aaron.
mm,
I definitely know who these 4 people are.
cool. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that. I just I did not have a plan, so
Let's take us off air.
I'm glad it worked out. Cool. Yeah. So let me just wrap it up real quick. This is The Wildlings by John Harper and with some additions by Gremlin Legions. I'll put the link up there. Uh, and it's the playtest is available on the internets. Hopefully, it'll get
Nailing it.
finished and be actually released sometime. And so I'm Aaron Field, signing off for Indie Plus. I was joined by
Adam Ultraberg.
And Roman Para.
Cool Man. All right, thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.